I don't have words to describe. Like watching it, like hit my bank account, I cried, like from happiness. I saw it and I was like, you know what? Everything I went through, every single moment, every single sleepless night, every single day that I lost an account, and I was crying on the bottom of my floor, asking me like, why did I do that? Like everything up to now, it was worth it.
What's going on, guys? Colt Mosdef here, and I have Goyo, one of my top students. He just recently had a very big accomplishment in his trading journey, and this is going to be super valuable because we're going to go over the psychology and what needs to be done for you guys to break the bank with these prop firms. He recently did it. You had how big of a payout?
$9,000.
He had a $9,000 payout with a $100,000 account. So in this interview, I'm going to ask him how he did it, his journey, so you guys can be able to relate to him and get a better understanding. And we're going to go over what really needs to be done for all of you watching this to make the same thing happen. So first off, I want to ask you, let's start off with like where you're from, how long have you been trading for, and your age.
So I'm 22 years old. I'm from Mexico City. I first started trading at 20 years old.
Okay.
Typical story, was watching Instagram, watching all the guys with the cool cars, vacations, going on nice dinners. I was like, I want that as well.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, what are those guys doing? I saw they were trading. I was like, I want to get into that as well.
Was it YouTube?
It was first it was Instagram.
Okay.
Then it was YouTube. It was like the free videos on how to trade.
Okay.
Usually free stuff. It's not good. Like you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that kind of deviated me a little bit, and it made my journey longer than it should have been.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so you're 22. You started trading 2 years ago when you were 20.
Yeah.
That's fucking quick, because there's people, I know some of the people watching this right now, they're like, it's going to take 5-10 years, because they say to become like a pro or start to really see success with anything, it takes like 10,000 hours, they say, or 7 years. So for you to see success that quickly, it's pretty damn amazing.
Well, I had a good mentor, man.
Yeah. So I want to go over like more about how you got into Forex. So I know you watched something on Instagram.
Yeah.
You said, what was like the journey? So when you first heard about it, were you just watching videos for a month? When did you decide? Did you have like buy a course from someone before that? Or how did you start actually learning the process of trading?
So the first thing I did was I looked into trading, what it was, and I was deciding between the stock market and the Forex market.
Okay.
At the time, I couldn't trade the stock market because I was at school. And my school in Mexico started at 7:30, which was when the New York market was opening. So I was in class every single day. So I wasn't able to be on the charts, and therefore I couldn't trade the stock market.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, Forex is open 24/7, which is
24/5.
24/5, which is good and it's bad because you have to be very disciplined not to trade like after your trading period.
Yeah, for sure.
So I started there, then unfortunately I got into signal groups.
Okay, let's hear about that. Do you remember like the first signal group you got? I'm like, I want to hear your experience of taking your first trade, funding your account. Like, let's hear that. How much did you first start trading with, your first trade?
The first account I opened was Hugo's Way.
Hugo's Way is great. I still use them.
I deposited $500. And I remember reading I found the signal group through Instagram, and I remember going through the past trades that they had, and it was like 60 pips, 50 pips, like 7 wins, 3 losses. Yeah, bro. It's so funny because the moment I joined, everything went to shit. Like, everything. They said loss after loss after loss after loss.
Yeah.
I lost that account probably in under 2 weeks. I was over-risking. I was having a $50 loss, and I was like, oh, the next one is going to be a win because the past trades, like they had like 7 wins and 3 losses.
Yeah.
Let me just risk twice as much, and I will recover my loss.
So you're kind of looking at it as like gambling in a way?
Sort of the martingale strategy?
Yeah, where
I was
Okay.
kind of using that at the time.
That is hilarious. Okay, so what would you remember, like, the first trade that you took, like, what pair was on and your profit or loss that you had?
I remember it was USD cap,
Okay.
and it was around 3 p.m.
Were you buying or selling?
I was buying. I was going long. I
Okay.
had like $20 stop loss and a $60 take profit.
Good risk reward ratio.
Yeah, and
3-to-1.
3-to-1. I remember I didn't even let it run because I remember watching like $20 in the blue. I was like, okay, I'm gonna close it.
Okay. So you made profit your first trade?
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy because when I first started trading, it was 2015, I'm pretty sure, 14. But there's this guy, Reza Mokhtar, this like Middle Eastern guy that lived in Canada, and he would post signals. He would go live on Instagram, or it was YouTube. He would go live on. He'd be like, "All right, guys, I'm trading this." I remember I had a Traders Way account. For all the OG traders, you know about Traders Way, the broker. But I put $100 into account. He's like, "Buy Euro USD." I bought it and I made like $5. I was like, that's when it like flipped the switch because I was like selling drugs at the time before trading.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, you can make money that quickly from just trading? And that's when it was like my mind had this like chemical explosion. I was like, all right, this is insane. So
If you were to ask me, my favorite trade so far is the one that got me hooked. Like the one where as you said, the one where you say, "Oh shit,
yeah. That's
this is gonna be my life."
It's like that dopamine hit you see, you're like, wait, this is possible.
But it's also very dangerous. One thing that I had to learn in the past months is because you can go into a trade and in a couple seconds you can be in the blue, like you can be in the green, you can be up 1K, and all of a sudden you look at your phone and it's like minus 2,000.
Yeah.
Being able to handle that volatility, it takes a lot of mental effort.
One thing that I've been doing lately, and a lot of my YouTube subscribers know this, but I just set forget to trade because I'm intraday trading like you. I'm not. It's like this is good for intraday and swing trading, but if you're scalping, you kind of need to be like aware of what's going on. But I just put my take profit and stop loss, and then on TradingView, you can put an alert. So where my stop loss is, my take profit, I have an alert set, so I'll get a notification on my phone. But all right, my stop loss was hit, my TP was hit. Because that's something I'm pretty sure we're going to go into that, the revenge trading. Once you take that loss, you're like, I need to get it back.
Okay. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how you actually got involved in trading. And I know you joined my mentorship like a year ago.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember it so clearly. I remember I messaged you. I was going through my story, and I saw your profile. You viewed one of my stories. I was like, I think I said, why haven't you joined my mentorship or something? And then you're like, I don't know what you said. I bet if I pulled up the messages we could see, but I remember you joined my mentorship that same night.
Yeah.
You're like, let's do it. I was like, all right, let's fucking go. So if some of you don't know, I have a mentorship class. It's a 10-day class, and we go through each topic or a new topic every day, and I teach a strategy that I use. But you join the mentorship, and like, let's go through that. So you join the mentorship, you learn my strategy, and how was like the experience with that and everything, and did it help you with your trading? Let's hear some about that.
I would say joining the mentorship was definitely one of the breaking points. Because before, I was doing the signals, I also bought some courses, and they mostly had the basic concepts, support, resistance, candlestick patterns. But one thing they didn't do is that you do is they structure everything in a way that's a framework. Like, for instance, before they will tell you, oh yeah, just use support and resistance. Okay, but when? What time? What pairs? What's volatility? How big should my stop loss be? Like, what day should I trade? And with your mentorship, one thing that I really like is, okay, you gotta be at the charts at this time. Your stop loss should be this big. What else? Okay, avoid trading on Wednesdays. Because Wednesdays, they're not as clear. Avoid trading news. And that's something that I've never heard before, and that was really, really helpful for me to say like, oh wow, like I can actually go back, look at the data for the past 3 years, look at how many winners I have, look at how many losses I have, calculate the strike rate. Okay, it's up, I don't know, like a 70-80% win rate.
Yeah, I've been extremely data driven. I have a business partner, and he's a scientist that I trade with, and he has all this data from the lab and these tests he's doing, and he's like, he brought it on to me, but I've been so data driven because what you just said, like people do teach what support and resistance is, what news there is, how to find the news, the trend, all that stuff, but it takes the trial and error to put all these things together, and that's where you kind of formulate your strategy. So yeah, it's like don't trade on Wednesdays, don't trade news like CPI, have your stop loss at this level right here, this is the type of candlestick that we're looking for. It's like, and one thing you said at the beginning is the timing.
Yeah.
Timing is the most important part, I believe, or what, not the most important part, but one of the most important parts of trading, because you need to be in the markets when the money is fluctuating. And with indices, that's at 6:30 a.m. Like that's when the money is freaking moving. That's when you need to be in the markets. So yeah, it's important to have all these concepts compiled together to overall formulate your strategy, because it does take time to formulate a strategy.
And it also takes time to test it and get comfortable with it. Because you can learn a strategy, but if you don't test it yourself and you don't become familiar with it,
yeah,
it's like, well, I don't know how much I can say on YouTube, but it's like having sex. You can read books on having sex, but
yeah,
until you have your first sexual experience, you're not gonna know how it feels like.
yeah, I like that. Damn, that's powerful right there. Yeah, and there's the testing of the back testing, but like there's the trading, there's the back testing side of things. Like you need to test out the strategy to make sure it works, but then you need to back test, or you need to forward test yourself. How do you react when it actually comes to the fight? And it's a battle. Like when you're trading, it is a freaking battle, because it's a battle within yourself. You need to understand, why do I react this way? And one thing, we're going to go deep into the psychology right now, but I've realized that a lot of the traumas that we have inherited throughout our childhood play a major role in our adult life. And with me, like, it was the impatience factor for me that really was hindering my success as a trader. I want to go into like how you got funded and stuff and your payout, but we'll go over the psychology after that, because that's going to be powerful. So let's go over the prop firm that you got funded with, the account size, and then like the story, like how you got funded and your first payout. Let's hear that.
So I took the mentorship. I failed over 6 accounts, and I was going for the big ones, 200K, 100K.
Okay, let's dig deep on that though. Why were you taking all these challenges? What was your mindset behind that? Because there's so many of you watching this right now. You need to listen to what he's about to say, because this is probably, you're doing the same thing. And if you can just learn what he did and avoid it, it may save you a lot of time, which is very important, but money as well. So what happened? 6 accounts?
6 accounts.
6 times, that's like 6K for 200K accounts?
It was a very, very hard time. And one thing you're saying, like, I mean, I took the mentorship 1 year ago. If I had really, really listened to you, and exactly, if I did as you told me, step by step, I would have had an account 8 months ago. But the psychology part, that was the hardest part. And I was taking account after account. I was losing account. I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe it was, because I was doing a 200K accounts, which was 1K, $1,200. I was like, okay, I lost $1,200. But if you get another account and I get the 10% a month, that's what, like, okay, that's 20,000, 80% profit split. That's gonna be 80,000. That covers my loss from the previous account. And that was just a cycle that kept on going and going and going and going. And every time I would lose that account, I was like, you know what? Okay, now I'm $4K in. I was coming not from an abundance point of view, but from I need it. And that I need it mentality.
What was going on in your life to make you feel like you needed it so bad though?
So I was in school, and I was also working in my school cafeteria in the dining hall. Okay. I wanted to quit, because I was like, I want time for myself. I want to be able to take my friends out to lunch, to dinner. I want to be able to give money to my parents.
I like that.
And I was like, you know what? I was making around $16 an hour, like working in the dining halls. I was like, that's not, like, I won't be able to accomplish my goals.
Yeah.
And I got similar to like, I also really struggle with patience. I wanted things and I wanted them in 2 days.
That's how I am too.
If you look at my stats for my phone accounts, which is, now that I look at it, it's like,
you should. That's where the data's at. You need to learn.
Like I saw it and it's kind of embarrassing because losing 10% in 3 days, that's like, how much do you have to be risking per trade to lose an account in 3 days?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's where the data's at though, and I feel like I've heard stories like that too, where people are, I bought 20, 30 funded accounts and they failed them. But you need to be able to take a step back and see, okay, but why is this happening? What did I do wrong? And really reframe your mind. And that's what nobody's doing. They're like, all right, I failed the account, let me go buy another one. And it's kind of like that gambling mentality where, bro, I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago and I put $100 or I took $100 on the roulette machine to 500 and I walked away. I was good for the night. I came back the next day and I was going for red and it kept hitting black. I was like, I put in 100. I was like, I'm going to double it. I went for red and then it hit black. I lost. I put the $100 right back in a new $100 bill. Lost it. Put it in until I had no money left. And that's like the mentality people are doing versus like, you need to come from a different standpoint and understand, okay, what is this showing me though? Like, I need to take a step back and write down exactly what's going on and really be able to process how I'm feeling in that moment. Because one thing that I do with my trading is I lost $10,000 in a night one time. And I hated myself the next day. I was depressed. I cried. So I realized that by that action, it had this effect on me and it made me perform a certain way. So in the future, if I wanted to do that action again, I put myself back in that mindset or that emotion, I should say, of the depressed, angry, sad feeling. So it made me understand, okay, I don't want to feel those emotions again, so I can't do that action again. So 6 accounts.
6 accounts.
Then what happened? The 7th one was the one. What did you do differently versus the 6th to the 7th though?
So I actually took some time off.
Powerful. That right there is powerful.
Because my thought process at the moment, after the 6th account that I lost, I was like, more of the same gets you more of the same. So I was like, you know what? I'm just repeating what I'm doing. That's just insanity. I was like, I need to step back, take time off, work on myself, go to the gym, eat healthy, read some books, listen to some podcasts.
Right there, what he said is so powerful because they say there's a quote that says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're performing poorly within your health, your fitness, your self-development, you're going to perform poorly in your trading. And that's what some of you are not understanding. These traders don't understand is, bro, you need to become a different person to see different results. Because if you're slacking in one area of your life, you're going to slack in trading for sure. And that's one thing. People are taking these losses back to back, but they never sit back and say, but what do I personally need to do to fix that? I've realized that from a personal standpoint. They're like, if I drink and I'm hungover the next day, I shouldn't be trading because my performance is not going to be high. Yeah. Okay.
One thing that really helped, I remember we had lunch one time.
Yeah.
And you explained to me the 5 stages of change.
Let's tell them about that.
So there's this model that Colt uses, which is, I cannot remember the specific steps.
I know it all. Let me explain it to them.
All right.
5 stages of change. Yo, if you guys are looking to scale your trading business and you want to get to the next level, whether you're just starting out or you already have some experience in the trading industry, you need to join us at Reward Over Risk. We have a bunch of programs like one-on-one mentorship where I actually have a 10-day class where I show you my exact strategies. We have live trading sessions where we get on Zoom calls and trade together as a community. And we also have trading softwares that can trade 100% hands-free for you. We have everything that you need to take over to your trading this year and the following years. But the only way for you to apply for this is to click the link in the description and book a phone call. Once again, click the link in the description, book a phone call, and let's see if you're a good fit to be a part of our community. Talk soon. The first stage is when I make a mistake, but I'm not cognizant of the repercussions or the consequences associated with that mistake. And I'm going to give you guys an example off of this to understand it. Second stage of change is when I make a mistake and I'm starting to become aware, cognizant of the repercussions and consequences associated with that mistake. The third stage of change is when I make the mistake, but I can no longer bear the pain that's associated with the mistake. Sixth account that you lost, that's where you're at. It'll probably be on the fourth level change, because the fourth level of change is when I make a mistake, but it's very rare that I make that mistake. So it's like, maybe I blew an account, or I don't like to say blow an account because you overcome that, but it may be like I over leveraged my account. Then the fifth level of change is when I no longer make that mistake. So there's these 5 stages of change that you go through with your impatience as a trader, over leveraging your account, blowing accounts, blowing prop from accounts, doing too big of a lot size, whatever area. And this doesn't just affect your trading, but your everyday life. How many times do you need to go out and get drunk and have a hungover and be hungover the next day to finally say and get to the 5th stage of change where you're like, I'm done, I'm no longer going to make that mistake anymore. Instead of having 10 drinks, I'm going to have 2, limit myself. So we as human beings, we know what the fuck we should and shouldn't be doing, but we still like to go through these painful moments. So the 5 stages of change, you're saying when we met up?
At the moment that we met, I was at stage number 1.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize is within each step, you have to go through a process. And it takes time, because you need to reframe the way you think to be able to the next stage.
Yeah.
And that's something that I didn't realize at the moment, because I was like, okay, I know the model, I'm just gonna try to speed things up and have it done in a month. But it's not how it works. It's not how your mind works. Like you have to become someone else to the next step. Like once you're at step 2, okay, I've overcome the first step. Now what do I need to change to be better for the next one?
You know, you're gonna last a while in this industry because most people are so lazy they don't want to do the fucking work. And that's what it is, this society, this generation we live in, everyone's getting these instant dopamine hits. If you want dopamine, you can go masturbate. If you want a quick dopamine hit, you can go on TikTok and you see these videos and you get all excited, but that's temporary. Versus like real dopamine hits are, they call it a runner's high. When you run you run too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been running a lot lately, but once you hit that 20-minute mark of running, these dopamine and endorphins are activated and you have like this crazy, excited, happy feeling. So the same thing applies with us as individuals, is we need to be able to find the framework, like you're saying, to be able to change what's not working. But it's just recognizing it too. Like we need to be able to sit back, and what I think what's powerful is you took the time to say, what I am doing is not working. I need to reframe the way that I'm thinking, but the way that I am doing this thing called life. You did self-development, started working out, you started eating. You're good. You're big on the health and eating good foods. I know you are. And that's something you kind of taught me as well. In self-development, you recommended me books too. So it's like a lot of the things is you need to take a step back. It's like having a third-person perspective. I like to look at myself in a third-person perspective. And you took that step back, you saw yourself, and you're like, boom, it's like an outer body experience. You're like, all right, all this shit that I'm doing, this is kind of working, but these 2 things, get them the fuck out of here. They're not working. Get them out of here. So it's important to be able to see that and be like, okay, this is working, but this isn't working. So taking time off, that's powerful.
That was it.
So you took that time off, then what happened? You're like, I'm fucking ready now. I want to get the account. What'd you do?
So after I took some time off, it was summer, probably end of July, beginning of August.
Okay.
And I was, what's that?
2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you see what you can do within the market and you know what's possible, you won't give up. Like if it takes you 5 years, 6 years, you won't give up. Like, it's a skill that it might take you 2 or 3 years to develop, but it lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
People go to college for 5 years, 4 years. Like, why not? Why not do the same with trading? Like,
That's something that I stress out too. Is you go through these hardships, but I don't want to be religious or anything, but I'm really big into like I believe in God, and I believe that there's so many quotes on the internet. I see this all the time, and I feel like God's speaking to me. But it's like before God gives you what you want, He'll put you through the hardest times, and it's like for a seed to grow, it has to go through this dark time. A seed is under the ground,
Yeah.
and then it goes through this pushing. There's so much resistance, and then finally, once it breaks through the soil, it sees sunlight. It's beautiful. It can go and grow so much quicker because there's no resistance. So the same thing, it's like with you, you have these times of resistance that you had to go through, and it was a testing period to see how bad did you want it though.
It's like, now that you mentioned seeds, like a bamboo, like a plant, like the bamboo plant, it spends forever under the ground, but once it starts growing, it grows exponentially.
Yeah.
That's how I see my life going. Like,
yeah, seriously. So you put in the fucking energy and time, you invested in yourself, you had your mistakes, you learned from them. Learn from them is very important because most people don't understand that the things that they're doing are not working and they don't have the ability to change. So having that perspective within oneself really shows who you are as a man and your true character. Because most people, when they go through struggles in life and failures, they point around, they're blaming everyone else. They don't take the time to say, do you know what? It's up to me. And that's what I like to say. I learned this from one of my mentors. He said, with anything that happens in your life, say, I am responsible. I am responsible.
oh, I know.
That's fucking powerful, bro, that you did that.
There's a quote I really like. It might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. Okay, man, maybe you're not to blame for where you are, where you started in life.
Yeah.
But where you end, it's up to you.
Yeah, for sure. So let's hear it. What happened? You bought the 7th account,
Yeah.
100K.
100K with funding pips.
How quick did you funded pips? Okay. How quick was the process of getting funded?
The phase 1, 2 weeks,
Nice.
and phase 2, another week, 1 more week.
Okay.
Something I did, which was helpful.
Less than a month?
Yeah.
Nice.
Something I did, something I did that was really, really helpful. After I was done trading for the day, I would delete MetaTrader from my phone.
Smart.
I was like, you know what? I'm good for the day. Even if it was a loss or even if it was profit, I don't want to have the temptation of looking at my phone and saying, oh, there's MetaTrader. Maybe if I go into one more trade, I can get funded today. I was like,
Bro.
I was deleting that shit like every single day.
That's an extreme thing to do, but if you need to do that, that's what help you do it. That's what helped you do it. One thing that I do is I have my computer that I trade off of. And then I have my phone, but on my phone I have MetaTrader 4 logged in as my investor password. So once I'm done trading, I like to fill out my schedule. Like once I enter a trade, I go to the gym, I take Metro out for a walk, my dog, and I'm like, I can't go back home and do it. So I have to let the trade hit my TP or stop loss. So that's powerful.
Something else that you kind of taught me as well is you have to have something outside of trading. It doesn't have to be another job or business related, but you cannot be at the charts 24/7 because you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And that's something that really helped us. Like, okay, I'm just gonna trade and I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go and run. I'm gonna go prep my lunch. I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna go. In my case, I'm still in college. I'm gonna go to class. I'm gonna put my schedule in a way that I have to take classes in the morning, so that way I'm not looking at my computer. So it's knowing yourself, knowing your bad habits, because the good habits you can just keep on doing. But knowing your bad habits is more important. Because knowing your bad habits is, okay, where do I fuck up? Like, what can I do to prevent that? Or how can I pull myself apart or make it harder for me to make those mistakes?
Bro, those action exercises, though, things like that, deleting MetaTrader 4.
Yeah.
You did that, and that's what helped. So maybe other people seeing that are like, damn, what if I need to try that? Okay? So 3 weeks, you got funded with the 100K. And we're going to put, you guys should see all the results on the screen as we're saying this, of him passing his account, but How'd you get to the $9,000? Did you make like 2K here, like the trades? What happened?
So that was another 2 weeks. And what I did is
2 weeks you made 9K?
Yeah.
Damn.
which
Okay.
is something I wouldn't do again because I was risking. I first built up some profit into the account. I was risking 1%. After I had like 3 or 4K, I started to use 2% stop loss. So I was risking 2% per trade, and I was trading the model that you taught me. I was trading Nasdaq 100, and I also saw really good opportunities in cable and UDP USD, and I was swinging that. It was just going lower and lower and lower.
Nice.
And it had really clean setups. Like on the retracement,
Yeah.
it had really, really good setups.
9K. It should be on the screen, guys. You can see the bank deposit, the withdrawal from his prop firm. You have all that, right?
Yeah, I'll show you the mails, the email of Funding Peak saying we process your payout.
Maybe at the end of the video, we'll just do a video. I'll share it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your phone and you can show it all. 9 bands. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
How did that feel?
It felt. I don't have words to describe. Like watching it, like hit my bank account, I cried, like from
Wow.
happiness. I saw it, and I was like, you know what? Everything I went through, every single moment, every single sleepless night, every single day that I lost an account, and I was crying on the bottom of my floor, asking me like, why did I do that? Like everything up to now, it was worth it. Like I needed that to become the person I am now.
That's fucking powerful right there.
And that feeling, it felt better than watching the money. Like, even if it was a 1K payout, the feeling itself was worthless. Like,
Dude, what you're saying is so powerful because, oh, my mind is boom. This generation that we live in, I'm going to drop fucking bombs right now. Listen up, people. Turn your volume up, rewind this. So many people are looking at the end result, the Lamborghini, the house. They want these things because they think it will give them a feeling. But what I've noticed is I have a nice Mercedes, nice crib.
nice, really nice pay.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, but that feeling is temporary. But I've noticed for me to get these results, I had to become a completely different man, a strong man. And the feeling of me reaching that maximum potential, being a stronger man, is a much better feeling. But I was on the phone with my boy Dre the other day, and he was telling me that he did like $4.5 million last year, but overall he was saying that he was telling me, he's like, bro, you didn't understand, every day you're alive is a blessing. There's people dying right now, kids dying that are in Israel, and I was like, it's so true. And they say that at 25 years old, most people, they die. Not physically, but mentally, because they commit spiritual suicide. They give up on themselves because they no longer believe in themselves. And you see that every day, bro. There's people floating around this earth. They have a carcass. They're physically there, but not emotionally and mentally there. They're just going through this thing called life, just, oh, let me go this way and pushing around. Like, bro, we're fucking here grinding on a Friday night. There's motherfuckers out there that are going to the club celebrating failure. Why do these people think that they have earned enough to go and do that? Like, bro, like, the way that I see it is my dad is not retired yet. And they say, I was with my buddy Connie the other day too, and he's like, bro, the biggest blessing that a man can have is having a son, and his son fulfilling his true purpose in life and becoming the best version of himself. I was like, bro, that's facts. Like, I don't have time to be at the clubs fucking trying to fuck a girl or drinking alcohol around some losers that are low vibrational. Like, bro, I need to make my dad as proud as possible and be able to take care of him. I want to be the one that comes in my family and says, do you know what? I'm breaking these generational curses and these chains, and I'm setting my kids free. I'm showing what the expectations are going to be for the rest of my family. You want to know a really good feeling, bro? I have my cousins, and they're all younger than me, and there's like 2 that are the same age as me. But bro, when they see me, They're like, Colt, I see you killing it. My aunts, my uncles, they're all like, Colt, I hear you're doing big things. Like, bro, that right there, when I got my car, it was a good feeling. But that right there, when your family is telling you, like, I see you killing it, you're inspiring me. I'm so proud of you. Like, when you come from a little problem child that's focused on drinking in the next party and getting drunk with losers, to having your dad and your aunts and uncles say, I'm proud of you, that's a feeling that it's
the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
When I got the payout, I told my parents, like, I showed them the withdrawal, and I feel like, hey, look at the phone. Look what it says. And I remember perfectly what she told me. She was like, I'm so glad you never gave up. I knew you were going to do it.
Bro, this is emotional. I want to tear up a little right now.
I hugged her so hard. Like,
that's what it's about. That's what this shit's about right here. If you guys think it's about the fucking cars and the houses, that's not what it's about. It's about this shit right here.
Dude, the best thing is sharing the experience with other people. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, always, like, the cars, the clothes, whatever. It's nice. It's nice to have, of course. But the best thing is, like, even if I had, like, when I get those things,
bro,
I want to get those things to share them with other people.
Yes.
What's the point of having money if you cannot spend it on other people?
Yeah. Seriously, bro. That was powerful. I teared up a little, bro. That's because I can relate to that so fucking much, bro. Like, that's what it really comes down to, is like just being able to show the people in your life that are closest and believe in you, like, I fucking did it. I did it. I didn't give up. And it just shows you as, like, your character as a human. You're like, bro, I did this shit. That's G shit. Not a lot of people can say that. Right there, that's amazing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
What takeaways do you have? What do you want to tell our future millionaire traders that are out there?
One thing definitely is learn to be patient. Learn to enjoy the process and not the results. Okay. Know yourself, because if you know yourself and you know where you're likely to fuck up or to make mistakes, you can prevent that situation and say, if I know myself, I know what areas I lack. You can put more of an emphasis on those specific aspects.
I like that. Guys, like this video for us. Drop a comment if you got value and share this with a friend.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the interview,
bro. This is a good one. Not a lot of people made it to the end of the video, but you did. Make sure you share this video with a friend. Also, comment below. I want to know who you guys are and how I can help you guys out with your trading. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping weekly videos every single week on trading to help you guys out. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.